Hey guys, it is Charity Ellison, Triple Diamond with It Works Global, and I am here to do a video for you on our new loyal customer and leads tracker sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up on the screen here. All right, this is our new two-sided loyal customer and lead tracker. So we wanted to create something that you were able to keep track of leads on one side, and then as they turn into customers or distributors, you could use the other side. It's to keep everything into one binder in one location in one area, so you don't have multiple scraps of paper everywhere and customer order forms and all of that chaos. So we're going to get started here. Now, as you can see, the first thing that we've got, it's pretty self-explanatory. So the person's name. Now, if they are on Instagram, I would put down their Instagram name here, or their Facebook name, or any name that you use to find them. Now, here is the date that you first connected with them and the alternate name. So we know that people on Instagram and Facebook have totally different names, especially on Instagram. They could be Mommy City 4729. Well, you don't want to call them that when you connect with them on the phone. So when you find out their real name, you would want to put either their real name here or something that they like to go by there. Then I have here different ways that you met them. So either you met them on Facebook, which is FB, IG would be Instagram, Blitz would be a Blitz, so that's connecting with them any way that is out and about. Maybe you gave them a coupon, maybe you met them in the grocery aisle, maybe you met them at the swimming pool, maybe you met them, who knows how you met them, but you met them some way. And then REF stands for referral. So if a friend of yours, or let's say your grandma says, oh, I've got a friend of mine that wants to use these crazy wrap things too, that would be a referral. And then you could write, your grandma's name in there, or someone if you wanted, just to keep track of how they were referred to you. Next, you've got their phone number, and then also their email. And you guys, don't be afraid to ask people for their phone numbers. It's only weird if you make it weird. I usually just hand someone my phone and say, hey, put your phone number in here, or here, let me add you to Facebook. I hand them my phone, and then they usually put their information in. And then, of course, email if they like to communicate by email. Now, here is your preferred form of communication. Everyone likes to talk to people differently. You've got people that love to text, call, connect with on FB, which would be Facebook, Instagram, email, or Snapchat. So those are kind of the different ways that you're going to connect with them. Next, we've got reconnect. So you can see a lot of boxes in here. So fun fact, it takes people between 5 to 21 times of hearing or seeing your product to commit. So if you don't have all of these boxes checked, I think there's, there might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. Yeah, 21. So there's 21 boxes here. So let's say that you connect with a girl named Sarah, and you've connected with her once. Then you would write the date in here. Let's say that you want to, you've connected with her today. You would write today's date in. Now, let's say that she says, well, I'm not quite ready to come on as a customer yet. And you say, well, when do you want me to reconnect with you? And she says, how about next Thursday? Write that name down, or write that date down here, right here on this thing. Then when you connect with her, check it so that you can make sure that you actually connected with her on the day that she wanted you to connect with her. So that's 5 to 21 connections, guys. I hear this from distributors a lot. I feel like I've talked to everyone, or I've talked to them 100 times. Well, unless you've checked this 21 times, you have not connected with them enough. And then we've got a section here for notes. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure that when you are filling in this note section, you write little things about them, like they've got 2 kids, they're looking to lose 50 pounds. They responded to a 90-day challenge post you did. Met at the grocery store in the cereal aisle. We talked about cereal. Just something so that when you connect with them again, you have some sort of reference point, and they have some sort of reference point. When they say, who are you again? You say, oh, remember me? We talked about Frosted Flakes in the cereal aisle. Oh, yeah. So that's in your note section. And then down here at the bottom, we've got a couple different things. So I like to put my leads on Facebook lists. So let's say that you get a lead and you guys are talking back and forth. I put them on my Facebook lists, which if you don't know how to utilize Facebook lists, we do have a video on that called FB Lists. And it'll teach you how to make a list of leads in Facebook so that you're marketing to just those people and not other distributors or people that have already enrolled. Then I've got two things here, email subscription and text subscription. That is not something you have to utilize. I have my loyal customers on an emailing list that I do, as well as a text subscribing thing. And I have that for my loyal customers and my distributors. That is not something I want new distributors to do. I've been doing this business for years now, so I have a lot of loyal customers to connect with each and every month. So I have them on an email or text subscribe list. That is not something that you need to do right away. I would wait until you've been in the business at least a year or so to even consider that. Next, we've got a hard no. So as we know, some people are just not interested in anything that we have to offer. We don't want to keep marketing to people that say no. So we check that. Now, they are going to go in a section of hard no's in my folder. However, a no isn't always a no forever. Sometimes it's just a not right now. Being that we've been in this business for over 2 years now, I've got people that were no's in the beginning, but since then they've had babies, they have hot messes, they are looking to lose or gain weight, or whatever it is that they're looking to do. They were a no at the beginning, and now they are a yes or a maybe. So put those in a binder. Don't get rid of your leads when it comes to that. They might just not be ready right now. So that is the front, that is your lead sheet. Now, here is what we have going on for after they become a lead. So once they become a lead and they want to become a loyal customer or a distributor, then I have them then I actually flip this sheet over. So it's a two-sided. So I will show you right here on mine. First, I've got my LC list. So this is my list of for my potentials. Once they become a loyal customer or a distributor, then I just flip this sheet over. So it's upside down on one side and then right side up on the other, so that you can hole punch just one side and then flip it over and put it back in your binder. And I keep track of my loyal customers that way. So I'm going to go ahead and screenshot that for you guys to all see. So this is what is on the other side of the leads list. So I've got their name, and I put down the name that they like to go by. I put down the date that they're starting, their email, and their phone number. So that's all pretty self-explanatory. Those are things you're going to need to know. Now, you might already know some of that, and you can simply transfer it from the other side of the sheet, okay? Now, here's an important one. Name on the card. So as we know, we need to know what the name of the card is as it appears, including middle initial. Date of birth, their billing address, and their shipping address. Because as we know, with It Works, your loyal customer, if their billing and shipping isn't the same, you cannot enroll them online. That needs to be done through customer service. So finding out right away if their billing and shipping is the same is going to allow you to know if you can put this in the computer or walk them through putting it in the computer, or if you need to call it into customer service. Next, we've got their card number, expiration date, and then the security number on the back. Their password. I usually recommend to my customers to use first initial and last name, because that way if they need help or they forget their password, you can say it's your first initial and last name. If they change it to something different, or if they want something different because they want it to be secret, that's fine. You don't need to have their password down, but you will need their password for the initial enrollment. And then their ID number. So once all of this is put into the computer and they get an ID number, and it goes through, they're going to get an ID number. So you want to write that down right here where it says ID. And then I write down what they initially ordered. So I write down, if they got the skinny pack or they got Green's shoes or whatever it is that they got, I write that down. And then I also write down their ShareWraps URL. This is going to be very important that you do that. The ShareWraps program does not get used enough in this company. If you are unfamiliar with what that is, you can find YouTube videos on it or look in your eSuite under Documents, under ShareWraps, and it'll tell you all about that. And then we've got some boxes for you to check. I like to make a collage for my loyal customers of their Share Wraps URL, because as you know, you cannot share anything My It Works on Facebook. They block it because we are a business and we do not pay them. So they do not want us advertising on there. So I make a collage. What I use is an app called Moldiv. MOLDIV. Now you can use PitchStick, Pixcollage, WordSwag. You can use pretty much any app you want. I just find that Moldiv is the easiest to use. So I check that after I've made that. Then I ask them if I can share that on their Facebook wall page, which would be here. I ask them if I can share it on their Instagram or my Instagram. And then I also immediately tweet that or pin it to Pinterest, either way, because that gets your customer a $10 credit. And then I send them a text with their link as well as the collaged picture. And that way they can just send that to their friends, and it makes it super simple and easy, and it doesn't get lost anywhere. Now, here's a few other things I do with my loyal customers and I do with my distributors. Now, note, if they are becoming a distributor, the one other thing that you would need on here is their social security number. And I didn't write that down on here because I didn't want people to think that you needed to have that to become a loyal customer, but it is something that you would need to write down. You could write that in this notes section down here. I just suggest whiting out or blacking the sensitive material out afterwards, or shredding it, or whatever it is that you're gonna wanna do. That's up to you. Then I've got a couple other things here. So I send a welcome email to all of my loyal customers with any wrap instructions or anything that I think is important for them to know about their products, okay? Customer service, so important. Then I send them a little welcome thank you card. Now, these are not things that you need to do, but these are things I do to be thoughtful. So my loyal customers get a little welcome thing, a handwritten note that simply says, thank you so much for becoming a customer. It costs me 49 cents to send it, and I think it is well worth it for my loyal customers. And then I make sure that I add them to my contacts on in my Facebook groups if they're not in there yet, to my phone, email addresses, wherever I need to add that loyal customer so that their number doesn't get lost. And then down here, little notes about the loyal customer, other things that they are wanting to get the other months, maybe goals that they have. If they know anybody that might be interested, I write those names down there. Any sort of notes you could think of for that loyal customer. Then I have check boxes here for connecting with my loyal customers. So at the 2-week mark, I connect with my loyal customers. So by then they will have received their product. Hopefully they've done their first wraps and they know how to do it because I sent them that email. So I connect with them about 2 weeks later just to make sure that they've got their stuff and they're happy with it. Then I have 6 weeks. Now, normally people will say, well, don't you want to connect with them right before that auto ship? No, I talk about the auto ship right there at the 2-week mark. Hey, Joanna, I'm so glad you got your wraps. I'm so excited for you to wrap. Have you done your wraps yet? Awesome, you got an auto ship coming up in 2 weeks. Here's your ID number and password. Don't forget to get in there and change what it is that you need to get, or you're gonna get the same item next month that you got this month. And I leave it in their hands. Our loyal customers are all full-grown adults. Now, there are some loyal customers that want your help in their account, and that's okay. That's between you and the person to discuss. But I always, always, always put that in the customer's hand as well, because you know what? They should be able to change their account on their own, unless maybe it's your grandma and they have a hard time getting on the computer. So then at the 6-week mark, why do I connect with them at 6 weeks? At that 6-week mark, they have already gotten their very first auto ship. So I connected with them at the 2-week mark, and then their auto ship went out 2 weeks later at the 4-week mark, and now they've gotten their first auto ship. So I want to make sure that they are happy with what they got, their product got there, and I remind them that in 2 weeks they're going to be getting another order, and that's the 10-week mark. So at this point, they've gotten their very first order, they've gotten their second order, which would be right here, and then they've gotten their third order. Now, at that point, I don't want my customer to just order for 3 times. I want them to continue to order every single month. So I want to connect with them here at 14 weeks. And the reason I want to do that is because this is going to be their 4th order. And at that 4th order, we know that our loyal customers now receive free shipping. And that encourages them to continue their journey with It Works Global. Now, at 18 weeks, that is their 5th order. And I want to remind them that their auto ship is coming up and that they are almost at their 6-month mark. Now, the reason I want to remind them of that is because at 6 months, our loyal customers receive $50 in free product credit to get whatever they want. So I want to make sure that I'm connecting with them at that 6-month mark. And then after that, I usually try to connect with them every few months. They're kind of in a habit of ordering. They know how to change their stuff at that point. Hopefully, they are continuing on to that year long, because at the 1-year mark, they are going to receive $150 in free product credit. So they've received $200 in free product, plus they're accumulating perk points. So I want them to use those perk points and get free stuff as well. So make sure you're connecting with your loyal customers for that. And then of course, down here at placement, we all know that we can move loyal customers and we can also move distributors. And I like to write that down here so that I can see really quickly where they're under in case they're a loyal customer that wants to turn into a distributor, or maybe I just can't get into my eSuite or into my Tree Viewer. I always write down their placement. So I hope that that helps you guys. Those are the 2 sides that we use. So again, I've got my loyal customer side, and then I've got my lead sheet, and they're on opposite sides. Now, if you are on my team, this is in our team page, #BlingItOn. If you are not on my team and you would like a copy of this, you can email me, charity@tonetightfirm.com, or you can find me on Facebook as Charity Ellison from Gig Harbor, Washington, and I can send you or email you a copy if you give me your email address there. So hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic, rap-tastic day. Get out there, connect with leads, you know, grow your business. We've got a lot of bonuses and cool stuff on the line. So take care, guys, and let's take our businesses to a whole nother level.